Everybody, I'm Dr. Dennis Mariano, and this is my partner in healing, Nancy Boudry. So we were making this video today because we wanted to contribute to helping you be able to face today's challenges, especially with what's happening in today's world, by giving you some principles and some awarenesses of how you can stay healthy, not only now during these challenges that we're having in this world, but also for the rest of your life. One of the most important things that we need to remember is that when we are confused or in a state of unrest or sympathetic dominance mode, what happens to us is that our bodies don't function the way they're supposed to, and our immune systems don't work the way they're supposed to. So let's just talk very briefly about the immune system. Let me give you an example. We can be afraid of bacteria, viruses, or anything outside of us, but let me explain something, the principles of how the body works. For example, let's say you are driving on the side of the road, you accidentally hit a squirrel, and the squirrel dies, and you feel bad, of course, because you didn't mean to do that. 2 days later, you go on the side of the road and you look at that squirrel, and what do you see growing on it?
Oh yeah.
What?
Like mold or like
Maggots.
Maggots. Yeah.
So what are maggots? Maggots are fly larvae that the fly puts and excretes into the dead squirrel, which is dead tissue, in order that the maggots eat the dead tissue, because that's their food, is dead tissue. So for us to say that viruses alone or bacteria alone cause sickness is actually partially true, but the other part of the equation, it's the host that matters. For example, you wouldn't say that, oh, the maggots killed the squirrel.
Oh, right.
No, the squirrel is already dead and the tissue is dying, therefore the maggots are buried in there so they can grow and thrive to it. That's the way nature works. Mm-hmm. Because if you think about this, if a maggot tries to lay, if a fly tries to lay maggot eggs on a live squirrel, will it work?
No.
It can't, because
there's vital life. Because it's alive.
It's alive.
Right.
That's exactly right. So another example would be if you have a garbage dump, you're going to have rats.
Right.
You could kill the rats, but if you don't get rid of the garbage, what happens?
It's just more come.
Correct. So if you want to get rid of the rats, what do you need to do?
Get rid of the garbage.
Exactly right.
Right.
So now here's the thing that happens. So people with weakened immune systems, whether you're elderly, whether you are, whatever reason, because you have an illness, so your cells are not as healthy as they should be, so they're more prone to the bacteria and viruses propagating on it, because you're a perfect host, right? And it's pretty hard to culture bacteria. When I was taking microbiology, we would have these slides. In order for us to visualize the bacteria, we would have to put purple on it, and so we could see, because they're invisible. I mean, they're clear. So if we were to take that same concoction and put it right here in front of you and I in the camera, you would not be able to see us, because there's so many bacteria and viruses right now in front of us that you would not be able to see us.
Right.
So it's not necessarily that bacteria and viruses are the only cause. They're a contributing factor to how we either get sick or we stay well. Now, the most important thing is that we have to understand that our immune systems are the thing that protects us from all these situations. So another thing that I wanted to mention, and we really love this guy, Dr. Wayne Dyer, who's just passed since. He asked a question: if you squeeze an orange, what kind of juice comes out?
Orange juice.
Never apple juice, correct?
Yeah.
So because you know what? Because what's inside is what comes out.
Right.
When life squeezes us, what comes out of us, whether it be love or anger or fear, is what's already inside of us. So what's happening now in today's world, it's not necessarily causing us to be reacting to it and causing us to feel the way we feel. It's actually revealing how we already are on the inside.
Right.
And the most important thing Nancy's going to share with you in a couple of seconds here is that how do we then access who we are on the inside? It's revealing who we truly are, And our goal is to basically change what we can, because think about it, you can't control anything on the outside, you can only control what's on the inside. And talking about the immune system, I wanted to mention something to you guys that's really important. This is an article you can see here, and it says, during the 1918 flu epidemic, Davenport, Iowa, medical doctors treated 4,953 influenza cases with 274 deaths. At the same time, 150 chiropractor students and faculty of Palmer School of Chiropractic treated 1,600 cases during the influenza epidemic with only one death. Now you could say, well, that's nice, but you know what? That was long ago and things have changed since then. Things could have been becoming more virulent. Besides, that's only anecdotal. Well, if you look at the next part here, this is from Discover magazine, and this is from University of Virginia study. Look at what it says. They'll have to rewrite the textbooks. Why? Look what it says here. It's a stunning discovery that overturns decades of textbook teaching. Researchers at the School of Medicine have determined that the brain, listen to that, the brain is directly connected to the immune system by vessels previously thought not to exist. I really did not believe that there was structures in the body that we're not aware of. I thought the body was thoroughly mapped, said Jonathan Kipnis, a professor in the Department of Neuroscience and director of the University Center for Brain Immunology and Glia. How these vessels could have escaped detection when the lymphatic system has been thoroughly mapped throughout